Going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about college football week 10. It was a lot of things that happened in college football this weekend. The first thing I want to talk about is the USC defense. The USC defensive coordinator has been fired, he is gone. So now it's about time for the defense of USC to improve, but you're not going to be able to get to a bowl game, USC. You're not going to be able to get to the national championship or the Pac 12 championship, like I said before the season started, because that defense is your kryptonite, and it showed Saturday night, giving up 52 points to Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington Huskies. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. It's a lot of things that are happening in Southern California right now that needs to be addressed, and defense is the most important thing that needs to be addressed when it comes to the USC Trojans, because you're not gonna be able to win. You're not gonna be able to win games outscoring everybody. You got to have defense in these games, and you don't have no defense. Your defense is ranked 133 out of 133 teams in college football, and you talking about making it to the national championship, making it to the Pac-12 championship. Hell, we seen you in the Pac-12 championship last season versus Utah, and you failed to make a defensive stop when it was needed in that championship game, and you not able to come up with enough stops on the defensive side of the ball, and it has trickulated over to this year, which you have failed to do multiple times this year. I mean, you have given up over 300 points throughout this entire season, and you have given up those points to, I mean, low competition, low Power 5 competition. San Jose State, you gave up 35 points. Cal, you gave up 49 points in a 1-point win. Come on now. You're supposed to be a top-notch team, but you ain't playing like no top-notch team. So you deserve not to make it to the Pac-12 championship. You deserve not to make it to the national championship. But hey, I'm just a spectator. What do I know about college football? I know that if you scoring 40, 50 points a game, you got to be able to stop a team from scoring 40 and 50 points a game in order to win. But Lincoln Riley, he don't care about defense, because he was doing the same exact thing at Oklahoma with Jalen Hurts before he transferred to Alabama. He was doing the same thing at Oklahoma, and he doing the same thing at USC. And he gonna get fired if he don't come up with the right defensive coordinator, and the right defensive coordinator have to start giving out the right defensive play calls on third down, because that third down defense is terrible. But I digress. That's all I got for USC. The next game I want to talk about is LSU and Alabama. LSU, they don't have no defense. They giving up 40 points a game. They gave up 42 points a game versus Alabama on Saturday night. Brian Kelly, you are on the chopping block. I don't want to hear nothing else about how good Brian Kelly is. And come to think of it, when Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame, Alabama beat his behind in that national championship game back in 2012, 42-14. So you can't beat Alabama. You have proven that to me. You have only beat Alabama once in your coaching career, and that was last year. But Alabama, they didn't have no defense last year because of Pete Golden. Pete Golden, he a bad coordinator, defensive coordinator all around. But I ain't gonna get into Pete Golden right now. With LSU, LSU, you're not making it to the SEC championship game. Georgia and Alabama, they already making it to Atlanta. Only thing we worried about is who is going to win the SEC championship game. And I got a feeling who going to win the SEC championship game. But I'm going to save that for another video. But another thing about LSU is you can't have a running quarterback that run every play. You can't do that. Jaden Daniels, he a good quarterback, but you got to have a running back and you got to have tight ends and wide receivers, which he threw to the tight ends and wide receivers. But one thing about it, that running game, it didn't even show up. The next thing that I have on that game is Jaden Daniels. He ran for 163 yards, and the LSU Tigers only had 180 yards rushing. He was basically your whole damn running game. I mean, you couldn't stop nothing. And when Alabama defense in the second half, they only gave up 7 points. Alabama, they thoroughly dominated LSU in the second half. But I digress. When it comes to LSU, I told y'all at the beginning of the season that LSU was not going to make it to the college football playoff, was not going to make it to the SEC championship game, was not going to make it to the national championship game. And they ain't doing none of that. The only thing that they can do now is get ready for whatever bowl game y'all going to be playing in. Whatever bowl game y'all going to be playing in. Brian Kelly, you are on the chopping block. Brian Kelly, you remind me of Les Miles that could get LSU to 9-10 wins, but couldn't get to the SEC championship game. And then when Les Miles got to the SEC championship game, he won, but when he got to the national championship game, he wasn't able to win. And that's where I think Brian Kelly is going to end up as. Another Les Miles that could get you there, but can't deliver the goods when it's time to deliver them. The next game I want to talk about is Kansas State and Texas. Texas, the offense, y'all need to work on the offense a little bit more. To the Texas Longhorns defense, y'all came up big when y'all needed to, because that was a tight game throughout. Kansas State was good coming in this game, three game winning streak. But when it comes to Kansas State and Texas, they are on two opposite sides of the field. You got one team in Texas thinking about national championship aspirations, and you got Kansas State thinking about just having a decent season and making it to a bowl game. The next game I want to talk about is number 16 Oregon State versus Colorado. Oregon State, they a good team, they a decent team, but this was an ugly win on both sides of the ball. Now for Colorado, it's a lot of things that Colorado need to work on, because the defensive side of the ball can't get no timely stops, can't get no offense generating no points, no nothing. Shedeur Sanders, that offensive line got to hold up for him. I mean, I looked at that entire game, and most of the time, after 4 seconds, he would be sacked. I don't know what's going on, and what Dion did, changing up the offensive coordinator to Pat Shermer, I didn't see no improvement. It's really going to take a lot. Can Colorado even win another game this season? Because a bowl game is in doubt right now. I'm just tough sledding for Colorado. We just going to have to keep watching. They got Arizona this week coming up. Can they win that game? It remains to be seen. But I digress. The next game I want to talk about is Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Jimbo Fisher, you on the chopping block. Texas A&M, the AD, athletic director, what you need to do is go ahead, make Jimbo Fisher sign that $71 million buyout, because it has been 6 years of the same exact thing. Y'all ain't getting to no national championship, no SEC championship. So y'all just stunk it up. Since Jimbo Fisher has been there, y'all have stunk it up. Ole Miss, I can't say nothing bad about y'all because Lane Kiffin, he's doing a good job at Ole Miss. But Texas A&M, y'all got some tough sledding. Y'all need to go ahead and fire Jimbo Fisher. Like I said, that $71 million buyout, make him sign it. Get somebody else as the head ball coach of College Station. Because what I see right now is the offense is great, but the defense can't even generate a stop. Can't even generate one stop. Can't generate one stop. Yeah. One thing about Texas A&M, I didn't even pick them to make it to the college football playoff, but coming into the season, they was in the top 25, and you see where they at right now, unranked. They should have been unranked coming into the season. The so-called experts, they don't know what they talking about. They ain't get it right. The last team I want to talk about is the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville Cardinals, I wasn't surprised that they blew out Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech don't pose a threat at all. They don't pose a threat. So Louisville, you did your job. Virginia Tech is nobody. I'm surprised that you ain't blow them out by 50, but it was still a good game for Louisville. It was a good game on all sides of the ball. You on the defensive side, Louisville only gave up 3 points. So Louisville, y'all are on the come up. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it to the championship game, but y'all will be in a bowl game with the way that the offense and defense is starting to click on both sides of the ball. And that is my reaction video for college football for week 10 of the college football season. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, the key is always on time.